Well, Tyre Nichols' family say they want justice after viewing the video of the January traffic stop that led to his death. They say that's first-degree murder for the officers involved and nothing less. ABC 24's Steffen spoke with an attorney familiar with similar cases. Steffen has for us now what's ahead in the legal process.
Yeah, Rudy, the attorney I spoke to today said this is a very unusual situation. He said that in cases of police brutality similar to what's going on right now, that this investigation is usually done more discreetly, but this has been anything but, with several public statements going out over the course of the past few weeks. So, why is this happening? I asked him and he said this might be because the MPD officers were acting outside of the responsibilities they were given by the law, and that the city might know that.
The investigation might take several months in most cases.
However, the death of Tyre Nichols isn't like most cases, according to attorney Murray Wells. Instead of months, progress has been made in a matter of weeks.
In this case, they seem to be moving pretty quick, so they seem to know what happened.
The city of Memphis, who just last week fired 5 MPD officers involved in the traffic stop that sent Nichols to the hospital, where he later died.
I think the city wants to jump out in front. Part of that is because the city wants to separate themselves from those officers, and that would be important for a lot of reasons.
According to MPD's policy, officers can use whatever force is necessary and reasonable to protect themselves and others from harm. They should not use force unprovoked. Officers are advised to also use warnings and persuasion. And if those tactics don't work, then reasonable force is the next step.
They're going to have an expert, the city will, that says that this is against policy, practice, and custom of the Memphis Police Department. So we're not responsible because they were outside the scope of protecting and serving.
Tyre Nichols' family and their attorneys have called for first-degree murder charges against the officers involved. But according to Wells, this will come down to if it can be proven that the officers were intending to take Nichols' life.
It's premature to say that this would be a first-degree murder charge, but I think it's safe to say that there are probably going to be federal and state charges filed against these officers by the district attorney and by the U.S. attorney.
It is possible the former officers may see other charges, including voluntary manslaughter or second-degree murder if premeditation can't be proven.
Jurors, people who hear these cases, are hesitant to put a first degree on a police officer who was there in a situation that they didn't create necessarily.
Now, Wells does say that how the jury will decide will primarily come down to how Shelby County DA Steve Mulroy presents his findings from his investigation. We don't have a timeline of when that will be, but we will keep you updated when we find out. From outside at 201 Poplar, I'm Steffen.